In this world of darkness populated by untold horrors, 4 idiots, united by fate and held together through disliking one another slightly less than everyone else they meet, might just save us all. Largely by accident. Welcome to This Bloody Mess, the increasingly poor decisions of 4 vampires.
Mike just came into the room.
My D6s?
Can I pick some for me and my character?
Not those. Those are D6s.
Is that bad?
Vampire the Masquerade only uses D10s.
Okay.
They are these.
Dorky looking.
You're in a tabletop group. Everything is dorky now.
I'm ruined. Me and Mike are going to, I guess we're going to do the prologue?
Prelude.
Anyway, I guess we're going to do the prelude to,
I've studied preludes.
Shut up. To my character. His name, is Fredrick von Stein. He's played by me, Taylor. He's going to be a Ventru. We're going to play, Vampire the Masquerade. He's a visionary, a capitalist. His weaknesses cannot feed from someone who earns less than 6 figures annually. I don't really need to say much about him in the recording because we're going to learn. You are going to learn about him as we play.
All right.
Hopefully you can hear Mike okay. I don't know.
I'm just digging out the dice that we need for this. I'm just going to dig out 10 because at no point are either of us going to be more than that.
Okay, well... Ooh. Okay. You don't have any blue ones. I like this one the best, though.
I used to have a whole mess. Oh, wait. Here's 10 blue ones. I tried to play this once before.
No, I want this one.
Okay.
Sparkles. And it's my favorite. It's like tealish.
I actually traded dice for that one because I'm a nerd.
Wow.
We do things like that. Well, here's a set of 10 matching blue ones we can use.
Okay, and my green one.
Yeah. So, you have 11 that you might be able to pull for some shit.
Okay. Now I have 11 dice. I'm living life with my 11 dice.
All right. You find yourself on a plateau. The cool California air. Sun is setting, and an old man sidles up next to you and sits down.
Am I human?
Yes.
Okay.
Fred? Your uncle looks at you happily.
Uncle, I'm always afraid when you're standing next to me.
I don't know how to properly react to that, boy.
Me neither, Uncle.
So, you only call me on special occasions. This big news you have to share.
I don't know. It's not necessarily a special occasion. I just feel like something bad's gonna happen tonight. I thought maybe having you next to me would be good, because you scare the shit out of me, Uncle. And maybe tonight needs that. I feel like something scary is about to happen.
As you're saying that, you hear a little buzz from your pocket. Your phone's going off.
Hold on, Uncle. Could you settle down your intensity for a second? I need to answer this.
All right.
Beep.
I'm gonna go shoot lizards.
Uncle, I'm gonna forget I heard that. Beep. Hello? This is Fredrick von Stein, of no relation to other people near me.
You answered the phone, but it was only a text.
Oops. I said that for the sake of my uncle hearing me. Look at my text.
Your uncle looks down in shame.
I smirk inwardly, knowing I got the best of my uncle.
The text is from Caroline, your close friend and confidant and contact of the business world. She tells you that, according to her sources, once again, the infamous business mogul and venture capitalist that you've been watching, James Fenimorth,
James Fenimore.
James Fenimore is going to be at the champagne room of the hotel known as the Golden Room.
I text back, cool, can you get me in there? Question mark.
A few seconds pass and you get a text saying, you already have a reservation, winky face.
What's my best friend's name?
Caroline?
Does she have a last name?
Cooper.
I'm writing notes.
That's
like...
good. That's a very good habit to get into.
Thanks, Care Bear. Winky face. Send.
She sends back a gif of one of the Care Bears.
Good old Care Bear.
You hear a gunshot from behind you. Damn lizards! You turn back and find your uncle has indeed shot a lizard with a revolver.
Where did that even come from?
He puts it back on his belt and says, no, I'll always keep one of these.
We're by the ocean!
We're in the desert.
Oh. Uncle, I was, stopping by. I thought I might need you tonight. I thought maybe, I don't know. It was a weird night. I have a big meeting I have to go through. I have a big news that I have to share, and I wanted you to see it before anything else. Look, I made a nap game. You probably don't know what this is, Uncle. Please don't shoot it. It's my phone.
I know what a phone is. They plug into the wall and they have a rotary.
Yep, Uncle, this is something like that.
I'm messing with you. I got a Samsung. Snatches your phone out of your hand and starts diddling with the app.
Yeah, look, it's really cool. My phone app, it's like you pretend to be a vampire, and you have, depending on like how much you feed, like you come across certain people, and it'll give you like health, and like every so often you need to come back and like feed on a new person. It's really cool. It's like new stuff. I'm gonna show this app game. It has like a lot of like little payments and plans and stuff you could do. Okay, you don't care about that.
It says I got a new Hisker.
Oh, new what?
He turns it around and it says new high score. What's a Hisker?
It's something you'll never see again, Uncle. Hopefully after tonight, I'm gonna actually go to this, I'm gonna meet like these really head guys, so, Uncle, if this goes well, please give me vodka, or moonshine, or whatever it is, that nasty stuff you drink.
Ah, you want a gut buster? I can get you a gut buster.
That sounds horrible and I want it. Alright, thanks, Uncle.
He smiles at you and then you see it turn like a little solemn, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, boy, you sound worried about this, and I gotta tell you. I guess I don't gotta tell you, you know already, I always thought of you as my own. Whatever you're doing out there, just be smart about it, keep safe. I want you to be in a box next time I see you.
Oh, thanks, Uncle. I think of you as my own too. No, I mean, I didn't mean to make that weird. You're not my son? You're just my uncle, who I see you as a father. That sounds weird. Forget I said anything. I don't know you, but I love you, Uncle.
He laughs and kisses you on the forehead.
Thanks, Uncle. Don't worry, I'll be safe. I have all of the knowledge that you taught me. I know that every summer you taught me guns and other horrible things to protect myself.
You hear another gunshot?
Please stop killing those when I'm talking to you. It's unsettling. You keep scaring me.
Oh, sorry. This one's gonna be dinner tonight.
Yeah, it looks deformed, Uncle. Half of it is just torn apart. You're only carrying the tail.
I guess I could get a smaller revolver, but
maybe you don't need a semi-automatic revolver.
now you're just talking nonsense.
Okay, Uncle. I really just I need to do good, but I promise I'll be safe. I won't let anyone get the best of me, as you always say. Okay, here I go. Do I have a car?
You do. It's at the bottom of the plateau.
Okay. I wave by and tell him, I'll see him tomorrow night. I'll let him know how it goes, same place. I'll come visit his house? again? Am I at his house?
You are at a plateau that's like, it's in a little park. It's a good halfway between your house and his house.
Okay.
But it still takes both of you about 2 hours to get here, so you usually use it as a meeting point when you just want to visit really quick.
Yeah. Okay, Uncle. I'm sorry I made you drive 2 hours to see you for 10 minutes, but do it again tomorrow. I'll see you.
Good luck.
Thanks, Uncle.
He leans back in a patio chair that he brought with him next to his truck.
How did you even... Okay, Uncle.
There's a trail that leads there's a car trail that leads up to the top of the plateau from his side.
Oh, okay.
But there's like a parking lot.
I think you dragged it from the parking lot the whole way.
And as you're walking down the trail, you hear the Johnny Cash song "Don't Take Your Guns to Town" starts playing, and you think you hear him crying a little bit.
It's so emotional. Why is he even crying?
You know he
I
worries
shout
about
back, "Why are you crying?"
You hear another gunshot, and you just go like, "Damn lizards in my eyes!"
I run back to my car as quickly as possible.
Supposed to be so serious. No, you get to your car. You take the 2 hours to drive back. You get a couple more texts from Caroline. It's up to you whether or not you answer them or not.
But I'm a really terrible driver, so sometimes I do stops or people honk at me.
Yeah, well, it's like a drive from the desert, so you see maybe 2 cars on the way back.
Okay. I almost hit some lizards.
Like uncle, like nephew.
Okay, so what's going on? I'm sorry. Oh.
You're driving back. A couple texts coming from Caroline. It's up to you whether you answer them or not.
Okay, I just ignore them, and then I until I'm really close to the hotel, and I park at the hotel, and then I check my text messages.
All right. Over the last 20 or 30 minutes, you've been getting updates from her, starting with about half an hour ago where she tells you he's in the hotel. She gives you a couple updates on what appears to be a dinner situation with him and a couple other high rollers. All it seems to amount to is that he's going to be there for another hour and a half or so from the time you get there.
Okay. I just check myself in the mirror, the rear mirror. Wow, rear view mirror, really quick to just make sure that my dress suit looks real nice, and I slick my hair back, but it doesn't really work. So I just have a single cowlick coming out on my bangs, but I can't get it to work. So I lick my hand, and it still doesn't work. And I look generally okay except for the cowlick, but I get out of the car and I shuffle to the hotel, and I shine my phone, my reservation to the guy who's inside greeting people.
The guy just says, "That's a text. Do you have a name that I can look for?" You look up the list.
Okay, yeah, my name is Fredrick von Stein, and I puff out my chest.
Ah, yes. Yes, you appear to be on the list.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Care Bear. And I walk in and I look around.
All right. You find yourself in a sort of a lounge area. You see a couple people just sort of hanging around. A lot of people are alone, just sort of hanging out in the lounge area. You've got a couple groups of people. You've got young people just sort of hanging around with each other, having fun. And then in the very back, through a closed door with window panes on the door, you can see a large group of older men. And at the head, you see a man that you recognize as James Fenimore from pictures Carrie Cooper sent you.
Okay. I take a few deep breaths to stop the hyperventilation. I look around to see if I blend in. Okay.
Some of these people make you look a little like a used car salesman.
I feel like a used car salesman. But I know I got important stuff to show, so I take out my phone and I close everything else but the app, and I click on new game, and I clear my throat, and I walk up to James Fenimore and his posse, and I sort of coyly...
Do you just walk straight through the door?
Oh, I'm not in.
They're in a, like, sort of a back room type meeting.
Oh, no, I kind of linger around. I step through the room until I, like, linger around to, like, the back door. Sort of, like, hesitate there, looking for a good moment to step in.
No one seems to notice you doing that.
I, like, clear my throat. And wait.
You see,
Does anyone notice that?
people in the room or out of the room?
In the room.
Not really, but as
I start to cough.
as you're just sort of hanging out there, one of the other gentlemen, tall with sort of a really distinct widow's peak and a big hawk-like nose, steps out. Sort of as he's passing, he gives you a really like dour look, like, what are you doing here? And then he just like heads towards the nearest bathroom.
Like steps out of the room.
Yeah.
I cough and it like gets louder and more constant until I'm like almost doubled over and I like sidestep my way into the room like while coughing until the point where like I'm clearing my throat and I'm like, excuse me, and I like look at Fenimore and I'm like, oh, you're James Fenimore.
Everyone is staring at you.
That's fine.
He looks up at you and he says, are you out of the 1967 Moscato? Because that's what I sent you out for.
Actually, sir, my name is Fredrick von Stein, and I have something amazing to show you. I have special permission from... It doesn't matter. I have special permission to be here, and I came here just to show you this amazing new thing that I have invented. Look at my phone. This is a new vampire game. Please pay attention.
He holds up a hand to silence you.
I am silenced. Yes, sir?
He looks around at the assembled other men, and at this point you realize there's a couple people that you recognize, not from personal interactions, but you notice a mayor, a couple of senators. These are very important people you just barged in on. He turns to one of his bodyguards, and you hear him say, "Get them out." And they reach for you, and he holds up his hand again, and he's like, "No, get them out." And
I like gasp and like sort of sidestep and like then nod.
They begin ushering the other people out of the room. A couple of them seem to object, but when he gives them a stare, they just are cowed.
I like cough, like impressed but like really intimidated.
He reaches out and, as if he's expecting no resistance at all, he just takes your phone.
Doesn't resist, just sort of lets it go. Sir, this is my new phone app. It's called Vamp Blood, and it just you play as a vampire, and as you collect people, you gain blood. People are going to put so many small transactions on this that it'll be such a huge deal. I'm looking for someone to fund its wide distribution. Vampires are the new rage for all the teenagers and stuff, so...
He hands it back to you. He says, "It's an amusement, to be sure."
Yes,
Sit.
sir. I sit next to him, not opposite, but like next to him where I was standing. Sort of make
Well,
the
he's
chair.
sort of gesturing towards a specific chair near you. Can you
Oh,
choose
okay,
that chair?
okay, yeah. I sit at that chair and sort of turn it to him. I like turn the chair near him and it sort of like grates on the floor a little bit.
He looks unperturbed.
Okay.
He takes a bottle out from under the table and pours into the glass next to you until it's full to the brim. He just gestures again and says, "Please drink."
I gaze at it and I don't like drinking at all, but I raise it up and take a stiff sip of it.
Let me see. I would like you to make a... He's doing this deliberately to give you a little bit of a test, so I'd like you to roll dexterity.
Or rather, I don't drink anything that's not moonshine to get myself wasted.
Well, what he's doing
Drinking is a punishment.
He's given you a glass that is, as I said, full to the brim, and he's going to test like your ability to actually sip from it without spilling. So I'd like you to roll 2 dice for your dexterity. Etiquette. So 3 dice total. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Do I roll them one at a time, or?
It's your choice. Just see which ones come up with 6 or higher.
Both are 6, and one's a 3?
You know what? This is like better not done on the carpet.
What is this, a 7?
That's a 7.
Okay.
But you also got a 1, which gives me an opportunity to talk about botches.
Okay.
1s are called botches, and every one you get cancels a success.
Oh.
Now, I'm tweaking the rules a little bit here by saying that if you get more botches than successes, things go really horrible, as opposed to a regular failure.
Okay.
Now, normally you have to get no successes and a 1 for it to be really horrible.
Uh-huh.
So, also, I'm going to say that since you rolled successfully twice before we found a flat surface, you're fine.
Okay. That makes me relieved.
Yeah. You are able to, you do that sort of maneuver where you, like, tilt your lip over the glass and suck out the first, like, inch or so of fluid before you sip.
Oh, good. I'm suave.
Then you set it down and...
I do it with that same flouncy movement with, like, my hand going out and, like...
he looks at you a little strangely. You see him just take out a little notebook and he writes something in it. If you wanted to roll perception and alertness, you might be able to tell what he's writing.
Okay.
Which is 1 die.
Okay.
And you have 2 dice for alertness, so it is still 3. Okay.
8, 1, and 3.
So
So I can't tell because I got a failure and a success, right?
Yeah.
And then this.
3 is just a failure. So you're absorbed in your pride at sipping this one.
I really am. I'm really proud.
Whatever he's writing is lost on you.
Okay. Well, can I perceive what expression he's making?
Sure, that would be perception and empathy, which is 2 dice.
Okay.
You got 2 successes. And a cat.
Slowly pads it closer.
Cat just reaches out, tips it over to a 1. No, you get 2 successes, enabling you to feel that he is oddly impressed.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like thinking to myself, like, that was a weird thing to be impressed by. It must be that he's impressed by my phone app. He sees me just as cool and aloof as my phone app.
He asks you, so, what led you to develop this?
I am an entrepreneur, sir. I like things that are popular and that make me money. This is guaranteed to do both. I'm sure you are the same. Regardless, I like glance to him and he doesn't make an expression, so I'm like, regardless, I am a fan of vampires because...
You like vampires?
Well, I like the vampire lore and the popularity that have been going on of recent. I think it's perfect time to go on a financial expedition with the current popularity in media.
So you brought this to me. Why would I not simply create my own version, is the question.
Because, sir, there are more features that I have not shown you. Because I have coded this game myself, and I know how it works and the ins and outs of this game. Why would you get another person to try and make another game when I have the original one that's sure to be better?
He opens his notebook and writes something else down.
Can I perceive?
Yep. 3 dice.
3 dice. 6, 2, and 5.
You got 1 success.
Nice.
You see, first of all, you're able to piece out what he wrote before, which is resourceful.
Ah.
He's actually written your name down at the top. Of the
Okay.
notepad.
Okay, cool.
So you see he's written down resourceful. Below that, you see he's now writing knows what to hold back.
Aha! I feel proud on the inside. Should I roll to like stop myself grinning, or is that just like a?
Yeah, that one's up to you.
All right, no. I smirk a little bit, but I hide it.
And you see that just under that, he's written down technologically capable.
I stop myself from nodding.
He snaps the notebook shut and tucks it into his pocket. And at this point, I'd like you to roll stamina, difficulty 6.
2 successes.
All right. Something just made you feel like a little woozy. You think it might be the wine, but you're able to keep it together enough to keep yourself looking professional.
I straighten my ties and my lapel in an effort to keep cool.
He leans back and he says, well, you've done me proud in the elevator pitch. I suppose the question now is...
My heart thumps.
Why bring this to me specifically? I am, of course, notoriously hard to work with. I belong to a very exclusive crowd. In fact, the how is just as concerning as the why. How did you know I would be here at all?
Okay, can I have 2 checks, like one for what I know about this guy and like one for like how I know Carolyn, like for what I know about Carolyn Cooper's contexts?
Sure. You got an intelligence roll with, you don't have business. So it's going to be, I'll give you intelligence and investigation and you can add your contacts. So it's 7 dice.
7?
Yeah. You didn't think it was all going to be 3s and 4s, did you?
Yes. 7. I can't even hold this many.
All right.
So 2 failures. What's a 0?
It's a 10.
Oh, okay. So 2 successes. So those cancel each other out, right?
Yeah, and you've got a 9 there as well.
So
let me see. You've got problem solver as your specialization in intelligence. You got a success. So what kind of information are you looking to glean?
Again, like, who are the contacts of Caroline? Like, what does she do that, like, gets her contacts? And, like, and what do I know about James Fenimore?
Okay, well, which one are you trying to do with this role?
James Fenimore.
Okay. He's a pretty shadowy figure. He's pretty reclusive. Most of his dealings are done in-house, like people he knows and trusts already. He's been known to take people like you under his wing and give them the money that needs to make their startup, but that's just sort of, A, it's very rare. I think the last time he did it was 20 years ago. And B, when he does that, they sort of become the insiders, which is actually part of the reason that you're interested in this.
Why? Because I'd become an insider?
Yeah, you're looking to be... You had one of those childhoods where everyone pushed you to succeed a lot, and now, like, it's a very Dan Harmon, daddy approve of me type of thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
You want to be part of his, like, weird champagne room inner circle.
Okay. And what about Caroline Cooper? Should I roll for that? 7?
1 less, because you're looking at her contacts. She is your contact. So you added your contacts to the last one, but what you know about her is less reliant on her. I mean, she's also your friend. You don't really need to roll about that.
Well, yeah, that's... I was just thinking, like, I want to know what she told me.
Oh.
Basically.
Well, that is what she told you. Like, a lot of what just I told you is what she told you. But what are you rolling about her? Because you probably don't need to.
Yeah, I want to know what she does.
She is in sort of a middle management position in like a very white-collar company. And as a result, she's someone who in the business world talks to a lot of other people in the business world. She's not powerful in any sense, but she knows, like as a result of all of her connections, she knows what's going on in different companies at different times.
Okay.
And she's a childhood friend of yours, so she's willing to share the knowledge with you.
Okay. So, you want to know how I know that I'm here, and you also want to know why I asked you. Well, sir, the first part of that is my secret. The second part of that is because I like what you have. I like what you do. I like how you go about your business. I like that you surround yourself by a group of friends. I like that you have that. I wish to become something like what you are, sir.
Do you?
Yes. And
He locks eyes with you. Do you really?
should I show you the app again? I hold up my phone.
He reaches out a hand and lowers the phone for you, locking eyes with you the whole time.
I get really intimidated, but
You can see something shining in his eyes. He says, I think you should sleep. And you feel yourself growing drowsy. Mm-hmm. You actually fall unconscious just in front of him.
Okay. But as I'm sinking, I'm like, you can control the blood.
As you're losing consciousness, you see him drawing closer to you, and he starts to open his mouth. And you think it's weird.
I do think it's weird.
You find yourself regaining consciousness in a darkened room. You can see there are windows, there's a trickle of moonlight coming through. You see that there are two other figures in the room besides you.
Oh.
You can see the face of James Fenimore, illuminated by a cigarette in the background against a couch. You also see a young woman is closer to you upon your awakening. And you can hear her say, I think he's waking up, sir.
I clear my throat and sort of touch my head. What
Feel
happened?
horrible.
Oh.
You've got dry mouth, you feel like your stomach's twisted up in a knot from hunger. You feel like you had 3 jugs of your uncle's weird ass hillbilly moonshine shit. And then slept for 16 hours and you're waking up just as the hangover peaks.
I try to sit up, but immediately regret my decision and double over again.
Yeah.
Sort of dry cough.
The young woman just sort of backs off very suddenly as you lurch forward.
Can I go to a hospital?
You hear laughter from nearby.
There's nothing funny about this.
You see James Fenimore stamps out his cigarette in a nearby ashtray, and he says, I'm afraid no hospitals are going to be able to help you now.
Oh, shit. Are you with the mafia?
I grow tired of this, Tasha, explain.
Tasha? Tasha, please explain, and also, where's my phone? If you're not gonna call 911, I'll do it. Oh, talking sucks.
I'm afraid Master Fenimore still has your phone. He finds your app quite addictive.
Damn, it is though.
My name is Tasha.
Well, aren't you just the bucket of sunshine?
Yes, I am Mr. Fenimore's secretary. He told me that it is my job.
I grip her lapels as she's right there, and I look in her face, and I'm like, hospital.
Roll self-control for me.
Okay.
All right. You do that. You grab her, and you part her blouse, and you get a real eyeful of just her neck.
Oh shit! There's something. I let go and sort of sit. My ass hits the floor.
Yeah, you're able to rein it in, but for some reason you really want to bite her in the neck.
I think I'm delirious from my sickness, guys. I sort of want to kill you, Tasha. Could you please call an ambulance?
She backs up several steps.
I sort of slump on the floor. I give up.
As she backs up several steps, you see someone else behind her. One of the 2 bodyguards that you saw with Mr. Fenimore at his dinner.
Okay.
There were 2 at the dinner. They ushered out everyone who wasn't you, despite them being much more important than you.
Uh-huh.
It seems like his job right now is to keep her from fleeing the room. She says, that's frankly horrifying.
Yeah.
Mr. Fenimore has told me that it is my job to instruct you in your new way of life.
Way of life.
She sort of takes a moment to regain her composure, adjusts her, disheveled blouse from you.
I, vaguely roll on the floor back and forth.
The other bodyguard comes over and, lifts you up onto your feet. You're not entirely happy about that, but you're able to maintain your balance.
Carry me bridal style, Edgar. I need to be held in my moment of need.
My name is Herman.
Who the fuck are you?
He just walks away.
Now I'm standing and everything's awful.
And you hear Tasha say, "Sir, I'm really not sure I understand what my purpose here is. You've given me notes, but they make no sense." And Mr. Fenimore just says, "Your purpose will become plain and soon enough." He sort of puts an arm around you, Fenimore does, and he says, "The life that you've just been thrust into is a difficult one. I'm sure you're not going to understand a lot of what's going to happen in the next few minutes, few hours, few days. But right now, you probably feel like you've been down 10 miles of bad road chained to the back bumper of a truck.
I'm really, really thirsty.
What you need is to eat, Tasha."
That's the urge I'm resisting, Fenimore, sir.
He looks you in the eyes, and you hear his voice comes out full of thunder, and he just says, "Stop." And you feel like the will in his voice just strips away all of your self-control and desire to resist, like taking a bite out of Tasha.
I'm sorry. That just made me happy. It's my kink. Excuse me. I just need to put my head down for a second.
Losing total control, you charge forward and just seize Tasha by the head with one hand and the shoulder by the other, and you just right in there. And you can feel fangs push their way out of your upper gums and pierce her neck.
Should I roll?
And you should roll for self-control again, because he told you to stop resisting, but he did not tell you to kill her.
Okay, that's fair.
So you're trying now to pull back after you've gotten enough to not feel like you want to murder people, but before you actually murder people.
Okay.
You got a 9.
Yay!
So after taking about 3, maybe 4 points of blood, when you pull back,
Yeah.
almost instinctively you lick at the wounds on her neck, and when you pull back, you see that they're gone.
Oh.
Most of the blood just went straight down your mouth. It's like a very euphoric feeling. You
clean
love
thing.
that.
Okay. Sorry, Tasha.
She just sort of sinks to her neck or her knees with a glazed over look in her eyes, what?
Looks to Fenimore. Actually, that was sort of awesome. Can we do that again? I'm a little drunk, I think. I think you're imaginative. I don't think I'm here right now.
My boy, when you woke up this morning, you thought vampires were a thing of fantasy and fiction and fodder for your little game, which is positively fascinating, by the way.
Glad you like it. That was 12 months of work, sir.
Well, we'll certainly get funds to keep developing this.
Yay.
I caught a bloodula. I don't know what that is, but it sounds charming.
Yeah, there's these the little creatures that follow you and drink your blood, and it's happy.
He laughs. He passes you back your phone.
I laugh too, like nothing's wrong, because at this point I feel like I'm crazy.
He asks you, tell me, how much of what I've just told you do you actually believe?
I'd say a good 5% of it, sir. I mean, it doesn't really feel like a dream. I feel great, actually. I feel like I could lift a car. But, no, I'm pretty sure I'm still dreaming.
Allow me to provide a demonstration that you'll believe most convincingly. And he pulls out a gun.
Hey, I got one of those. Also pulls out my gun.
You reach for yours, but then you realize he's holding it.
Oh, that's mine.
Shoot me.
What?
Shoot me.
I take the gun, and I look at it, and I, look at Tasha sort of dazed on the floor, and I, look back at him, and I, sort of shrug, and I, shoot him in the foot.
He doesn't flinch.
Oh. I, stare at him for a moment, and then I, slowly get a little closer, and, look at the wound.
You can see that it went right through his shoe, and that the bullet has just sort of gone through his foot to the floor.
May I, sir? And I ask him if I could, lift his foot up a little bit to see through.
Sure. You can see that there's no bullet wound on his foot.
But the actual shoe is, completely damaged.
There's a hole in the shoe.
And the floor.
It looks like the bullet wound just sort of closed itself.
I, look at the gun in, dazed amazement, and, look at my foot and shoot my own foot.
Roll stamina plus fortitude.
Okay with that.
We'll just give it a flat number now, because I don't want you to have to roll for shooting yourself in the foot.
Thanks. Good dice.
So, you look down in amazement as you just have this bullet lying on top of your foot. It's flattened out, it just pancaked against your foot. And he just looks at you and he says, I dare say you're getting the hang of this. He just walks up before you can do anything else and snatches the gun out and says, I'm just going to take this before you try that again.
Sort of coughs and sort of feels like I'm gonna throw up. But when, it throws up and, to my mouth, it tastes like blood. And I, suck it back down again because it's, tasty.
He puts an arm around you. He walks you past Tasha. And you hear him say in, a hushed voice to one of the bodyguards, he's just pick that up. And they rush to, take Tasha out of the room.
Yeah, let's go with the flow.
He takes you up to this tower and shows you the entire city from this tower view.
Uh-huh.
And he says, in all likelihood, everyone you know, everyone you meet, is, whether they know it or not, controlled by a vampire.
What? I mean, if I were to believe that, how is that possible?
We've been around for a very, very long time. Hiding, lurking, manipulating.
Wait, are you saying that I'm being controlled by a vampire?
I'm saying you were. Now you are one.
Looks at my hands, looks at my foot with a new understanding.
So here's what's going to happen.
Yeah? Sort of looks up breathless.
I'm going to teach you how to use your new powers, influence, and abilities. And then I'm going to teach you to swim by throwing you into the shark tank.
I hate animals. Could you please?
Metaphor.
Okay, I guess. Why are you teaching me all this stuff anyway? Let me get this straight. Your name is James Fenimore, right?
It is now.
Okay, I'll take that at face value. And my name is Fredrick von Stein, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Gee.
Tell us how you really feel.
And you're a vampire and you turned me into a vampire.
And the sky is blue and water is wet.
Why? Why did you do this? Before we talk about anything else, why? Why me?
Do you want the truth?
Yes.
You're impressive.
What?
The fact is, not everyone has what it takes to survive the society that I live in. I made you a vampire because I believe you have the potential. Guided by my hand, you could become a potent player. A player that could ultimately guide my side of the political game to checkmate.
I'm going to be honest. I'm liking the sound of this.
Excellent. We'll begin your training at once.
Okay. Well, that said, what should I call you? What are you to me? Are you my master or partner or
I like the sound of master, to be honest.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
I am... The word that vampires have for what I am to you is sire.
Sire.
Vampiric father figure, if you will. I brought you into this world, and at any point during your training, if I so choose, I can take you out of it. Don't make that happen.
Looks at him like I'm thinking about headbutting him. Just gives him a look.
Now let's begin. He waves a hand, and suddenly two figures just sort of grab you by the arms, and you feel yourself being pulled back down the stairs.
Okay, this wasn't part of the plan. What are you gonna do to me? Struggles.
He says, I told you we're going to begin your training tonight.
At least give me my gun back.
He sort of takes it back out, sort of looks at it. You see him briefly consider hurling it off the tower.
No.
And he tucks it back into his belt and he says, soon enough, soon enough.
Let go of me and struggles. I can walk myself. As he sees his gun is safe.
Yeah, they let you go, but they still sort of guide you.
Okay.
And you find yourself in a large square.
As I'm walking, I sort of sniff around. So my sniffing sense is good. What do I sniff?
You smell it's getting mustier and mustier.
Okay.
You think you're underground.
Okay.
You get a lot of fresh earth, and you find yourself being guided into an underground chamber.
I smell myself.
You smell dead.
But
newly dead.
It's like a fresh cut grass sort of feeling.
Yeah. You think you could probably disguise it pretty easily.
Okay.
You might have to be one of those guys who's really into Axe body spray.
Okay. Which is a shame, because it will hurt my nose.
Well, like anything, people get used to it and they forget that it smells there.
Yeah.
But you find yourself in a large sort of cubicle chamber. The walls and floor and ceiling are all hewn stone. The door is still made out of wood. There's a wooden door frame. Mm-hmm. The walls are bare, and in the center of the room, illuminated by a single hanging lamp, is a chair.
Looks at the chair, and then looks slowly from one bodyguard to the other.
One of them gestures as if you're supposed to sit.
Makes a distasteful noise, and then, aggravatedly sits on the chair.
Very quickly after you're in the chair, you find that you've been handcuffed by the bodyguards. Just behind your back, both arms get pulled and together like that.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys gonna do? Shoot me? Ha 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 ha!
One of them points a gun at you.
I'm not enjoying this. Please put that away.
He puts it away.
Thank you.
As he walks away, you hear him. You hear him mutter, "Damn right, thank you." A third guard comes in. This time he's arriving with Mr. Fenimore. This one is quite large. It's maybe 7 feet tall. He's broad-shouldered. He's wearing a white wife beater and a big pair of blue jeans. It looks like work boots, too. and he's holding looks like a tire iron. Fenimore comes up next to you and he says, Mr. Von Stein, I'd like you to meet Otto.
Otto sounds like a dumb name, but for a very, very nice young man who's very pleasant and who's going to treat me good. Right, Otto?
He smiles and nods.
Good, Otto. So, when does our partnership start, Mr. Fenmore?
This isn't a partnership, it's tutelage. He gets up close to you and he says, Otto is going to start breaking your bad habits.
Frowns deeply.
Otto is going to start hitting you until you stop flinching. This will help you process the damage capabilities of your new vampiric body.
Sort of like grunts in thought, and like sort of like makes a small quiet sound of shock, like like when I realized that like that sounds totally logical to me.
Fenimore backs away and he says, Otto, you may begin whenever you are ready. Otto just sort of nods and says, with pleasure, boss. And he starts circling you like a shark.
You're going to treat me nice, buddy. Remember your promise.
You get about 3 words into that when a crowbar hits you in the side of the head from behind.
Ah! It flinches like terribly. Okay, fuckboy. Leans forward and then leans back for like a huge headbutt. Like a really painful one.
Oh, you feel your head like hit him in the ribs. You think you knocked the wind out of him a little bit. And he, as he staggers back, he's just like, oh, you're gonna get it now. He, bam, catches you with another whack of the crowbar. He circles around in front of you and he starts hitting you in the ribs.
Okay, Otto, but you're still a fuckboy.
He lifts up one like big heavy work booted foot and he just stomps on your femur.
Ah, that doesn't feel like that healed properly.
This goes on for a few minutes, and at one point you hear Fenimore goes, Otto, you're having too much fun. This is his lesson. Otto sighs and he's like, yeah, boss. And he gives you sort of a half-hearted slam of the crowbar into your arm. It still hurts like a bitch, but you can tell his heart's not in it. Is there anything else you want to attempt while you're being wailed on?
I'd like to spit on the floor in distaste.
All right. Just a trickle of blood comes out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You think you see a tooth.
So gross.
And as you just sort of like wince, you can feel another tooth come out into your mouth. You're like, huh, that's new.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, like that. Eventually, one of the hits takes you in the temple, and that's the last thing you remember that night. You wake up presumably the next evening.
Okay.
You feel better actually. And looking in the mirror, you have like no injuries.
Looks in the mirror and like starts touching on myself and like petting my hair and like looking at my body.
I mean, you look perfectly unharmed.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but like that, but also like the new vampire.
You look paler.
Yeah.
And when you open your mouth, you're kind of like, I don't have fangs. And then your fangs shoot out and you're like, ah!
Takes a hair out of my head experimentally.
Nothing happens.
Huh. Lets it drop to the floor.
Falls to the floor.
Takes off the glasses experimentally.
You still need glasses.
Damn.
So you,
like, looks on my person for, like, my phone and, like, my possessions and, like, looks around me.
Your phone, your wallet, your gun, they're all there. Your possessions have all been laid out on a dresser next to you.
Before I look at my stuff, can I, like, see what's around me? I, like, notice my things, but I, like, also look around.
You're in what appears to be a guest bedroom, with the exception of the total lack of a window, which is probably smart. It appears to be very nice. 4-poster bed, that's where you are. There's a dresser on the opposite wall with a great big mirror and all your stuff on it. There's a door, presumably leading out of here.
Before I go to the door, I stand up and go to my stuff and put it all where it's supposed to go. Like, taps my phone to see if it turns on.
Everything works perfectly.
Everything works. Okay, so I like
Your
stroke
guns-
my gun and I like put it back.
There's even 2 new bullets in your gun, where the 2 that we used yesterday were.
Damn.
Full service mansion.
Well, so much for me dreaming. Puts the gun disappointedly back in my sidearm holster. Sort of like sighs and acceptance, and picks up my phone and calls my uncle. Do I have Wi-Fi?
You don't appear to have a lot of reception.
Okay.
You think possibly it's because this chamber has the same kind of composition as the one you were in before, and you're probably underground.
Do I smell like I'm underground?
You smell like you're underground.
Okay, I'm underground. All right, puts my phone away. Tries to like look for any new texts if there are any. Unless my phone didn't get any reception down there.
You think you'd have to bring it upstairs.
Okay. Puts my phone away.
There is a knock at the door.
Changes my voice. Who is it?
Door just opens, and Fenimore steps in. How's my favorite child?
Real good, Dad.
You don't have to be so formal. James will do, as will Sire, Master, my lord. Take your pick.
I'll go with James. I think that's less weird. You can, you don't have to call me by my last name either. Fred is fine. You don't have to call me Von Stein.
As you wish. Now.
Fred and James were already a tag team, finger guns.
Stop that.
Yes, sir.
Now. Yesterday you had your lesson in what I like to call fortitude, one of the disciplines of vampires of the Ventru clan.
Well,
That's what you are, by the way. Get used to it.
I'm a Ventru. Okay. It's a discipline. You guys like BDSM? Is that?
Some of us. But that's not what I was talking about. Disciplines are what make vampires what they are. They are the powers of your new unlife.
So I have the power to pretty much come through anything, huh?
Well,
I'm unstoppable.
You took that beating admirably, but no. Unstoppable, you're quite stoppable, in fact. Stake to the heart will still knock you down. It'll paralyze you, but it won't kill you.
Okay.
Fire. Avoid fire.
What about my guns?
A gunshot to the head is still very dangerous. So the organs, not so much. We don't really use them. I could probably take out my kidneys for you right now and not really...
I'm good. Please don't. Thanks, James.
Are you sure? It's quite a party trick.
I'm really, really okay on disturbing horror imagery for the week.
Speaking of disturbing horror imagery,
Oh no.
you must be quite hungry.
Yes.
I mean, it does take a lot of blood to recover from wounds, and you appear to have recovered from all of yours.
Oh wait, that means I have to eat another person. How is Teresa?
Tasha.
Tasha. How's Tasha doing?
She
looked pretty happy last time we met.
She's on a lot of fluids right now. She's not entirely recovered, but she's getting there.
That's good. Should I send her a card?
I'm sure that once she's recovered enough, she'll come back to talk to you.
Okay, I'd like that.
Another lesson, unless you belong to a particular clan, which you don't, draining the blood from mortal is quite a desirable experience for them. And for us. I'm sure you noticed.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's drink some people dry.
Tonight's exercise is going to have 2 purposes.
Yeah?
1, you're going to feed yourself. And this time I won't just hand you my secretary, partially because she's the only one I know who types that well. And I clearly can't risk her again. But also because I'm afraid it's time for you to learn your second vampiric discipline.
How many do I have? Do I have to experiment?
Some will be necessary. Most fledglings have 3.
Alright, James.
The ones commonly associated with our clan are fortitude, which you've already learned, domination, the overpowering of another mortal's will. Forgive me looking at my phone, by the way. This is other stuff for the campaign.
Oh, no problem. You have campaigned in your campaign, Mike.
Okay. Anyway. So he says to you, using your willpower, your guile, and your disciplines, you're going to seduce 3 women to bed and drain their blood.
Whoa. Is that okay? Is that legal?
There's really no law against vampirism.
Well, that's true. Hey, are you still enjoying my game?
Can't figure out how to download it onto mine.
Damn. That's still a work in progress.
I know it's not on the open market yet. That's why you came to me in the first place.
Yeah.
I could borrow this. Just takes your phone again. It says, I'm going to send it to one of my engineers. A fellow named Salvador. Wonderful fellow. Face like he got hit by a fire truck. Pretty sure he can have this up and running by Tuesday.
That sounds awesome. We'll talk more about that later.
Katerina, give this phone to Salvador.
Wait, can I get my phone back?
He needs to access the app.
Well, how am I supposed to call my uncle or anyone and let them know I'm okay?
This is always the hardest part.
What?
I'm afraid keeping in contact with the mortals you've left behind is not a good idea. Eventually they're going to notice that you haven't aged in 30 years.
What if they don't? What if I just wore a mask all the time?
Really don't think they're going to be any less suspicious of the fact that you've suddenly turned into the Phantom of the fucking Opera.
Well, I mean, I can't just not see them anymore. Doesn't make any sense.
I understand. You're worried they'll be worried about you.
Yeah, I mean, my uncle was just crying and killing lizards in his eyes. I'm worried about him.
Just tell them all you're dead.
That's not better. James, you have to work with me on this. My sire, my friend. Maybe not friend so much as sire.
This is one of the laws of our society. I'm afraid a kindred law bends for no man.
Nods and says nothing and thinks I'm gonna break the shit out of that law.
So he guides you back to the Golden Room, to the bar where you first met him, and he sits down in a corner and he says, I'm going to observe you from here. Now, I personally don't care if you want to seduce them as a group, if you want to seduce them individually, take them to the bathroom, young people do, but at the end of the evening, you'll have the blood of at least 3 different women in your system, or you're no child of mine.
I thought that they were all being controlled by vampires already.
Some of them... Actually, I just realized you said that in public. He smacks you in the back of the head.
Ow! Okay, I get it.
He pulls you into the back room and he's like, okay, apparently I need to go back to the remedial course. Lesson number 1, very important, it's called the masquerade. We don't tell people we exist. So, if you do that again, I'm going to stick a piece of chair in your heart and leave you out for the sun. Understood?
Shivers and nods.
Now, you don't think he's kidding.
No.
Now he tells you, when I said that, I meant we have influence over their lives. You might work for a vampire. He might be the CEO of your company. He might be the senator who cast votes in your election. He might be the person who paid for the senator to cast that particular vote in that election. Whatever the case, everyone is subtly controlled by the vampires. That doesn't mean that you can't talk one into going home with you. I'm not sure why it would in the first place.
Okay. I think I get it now. I think I know what being a vampire is all about.
He looks at you from the back room as you step out onto the floor, and you think there's just a touch of pride in his heart.
Aww.
There's that cat touching me.
I think I feel a bit of pride in my heart. It's just the cat touching me.
So you're in a bar, see an assortment of people. You see there's a couple. Actually, there are couples in the bar. You see a couple women that just are there by themselves. You see a small group. It's up to you, really, what you're going to go for in this situation.
I look around. Do I see anyone interesting?
Define interesting.
I don't know. Like, is there any big groups or little groups?
There's one particularly big group that looks like it's a bachelorette party.
Alright, goes up to the group that looks like it's a bachelorette party and, like, picks up a couple drinks on the way and, like, just sort of, like, walks up to them like, hey, ladies, everyone here for a good time?
There's sort of a general chorus of yes.
Well, who wants to go home with this guy?
Suddenly it's turned to sort of booing. Please take me sanctifying this. Apologies to people listening, but you're probably not hearing this anyway.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think they can hear you from there.
No, I meant that you're probably going to cut this out.
Yeah.
Baby, who's a pretty kitty? Yeah, it's you. Don't come over here. You stay over there and let me love you.
Alright, so you got 2 successes.
Wow, awesome!
Let's find out what that means. You feel something flow out of you, like there's golden light coming out of you. And suddenly you're charming as fuck.
Yay.
You also feel a little less, like, satiated, like some of your blood's gone away.
Okay. Did I use a power?
You did.
Oh.
You used presence.
Oh.
And now, 2 women from the bachelor party, including you, pretty sure the one who's actually engaged,
Oh, shit.
draw around, like, into your arms.
With coos of, oh, yes, we do want some of that.
Everyone else is a little bit like, really? But these 2 seem charmed. If you start spending points on performance, by the way, this can work on up to everyone in the immediate vicinity.
Holy shit! That's gotta happen.
At some point, yes. That takes 5 successes, though. So I would suggest, like, in the future, when you have XP to spend a little bit of it on performance.
So these people, obviously these people in this room are much higher class.
Yeah?
Okay, that's good.
Well, it's a hotel, so anyone can, like, rent out parts of it. So you think this particular group, maybe not so much.
Okay. I'm just asking because you know of my feeding tendencies. Or does it not count right now?
That would be the case.
That it doesn't count right now?
Roll. No, it would still count.
Okay.
Let me see what you have.
Not to make it harder on myself.
Roll.
Okay. What do I need to make?
Difficulty is 6, if I don't say otherwise.
Okay. Oh, I got a 9.
Okay. You get the feeling that these are some well-off people.
Okay. Can I just smell them? Can I, like, smell? I'm like, rich blood. Or do I have to sort of observe them?
Like, you kind of get a sense of, like, you get a smell like Kobe beef, really.
Okay.
They may not be classy, but they're rich.
Okay.
You get a sense of, like, maybe reality TV stars.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I
So-
look around and I, like, whisper in their ears, how about one more, ladies?
They seem receptive to the idea,
Okay.
but you're not sure how to get that last person in.
I look at the bartender.
It's an older, balding, overweight man.
How does he get tips? I wonder aloud.
Just sort of looks up and he says, I'm the owner's brother.
Nods in understanding. Looks at any of the people he's serving that are sort of sitting by themselves.
There's... Nearest you is an older woman, still very attractive, little mysterious, smoking in open defiance of the no smoking sign directly next door.
Good. I like it.
She sort of sees you seeing her.
Do I still have the presence thing going on?
You do, but that's just for these two women.
Okay. Sort of like looks at both of them and says, I'll be right back. You wait right here for me, sugar honeys. Sorry.
The incredible power of presence keeps them from being repulsed by you.
Shit.
The older woman looks over to you as you approach and says, "Hey, handsome. You got a third arm you're looking for a woman for?"
Clears throat and sits across from her and like sort of like runs a hand through my hair and is like, as a matter of fact, I am.
Alright, let me see here. So I'm going to say, for your first roll to get her on your side, I'm going to try to use appearance. Well, you know what? You can also propose these rolls, by the way. So why don't we try that?
Oh, okay.
Why don't you look at these and tell me what skill combination you would like to use to try and seduce this woman?
Okay. How about appearance and etiquette?
I'll allow that.
So that's 5, I think.
Yep. 7 dice.
Right up my alley, huh?
We got a
6 and 8 and a 7.
7. Yeah. You've made a good first impression.
Good.
You see her flush a little bit when she realizes you're genuinely interested in her and not asking if she had an extra seat or something.
Aww.
Like I said, she's not unattractive, but she's a little on the older side, so...
So I say like aw loud. I'm like, aw.
Oh.
But like softly under my breath.
I'm not really sure how she'd react to that.
No, like softly though. Like, oh.
So yeah, what's your next step? Like
Okay.
she's apparently receptive, but like what's your plan from here on out? This time I'd like you to like role play, and I'll tell you what to roll from that.
Okay. Sorry, this is also new. I'm just trying to figure out how to, yeah. Do I just look at like my checks here and like try and head towards one of them, or?
No. Just go ahead and role play like you're just trying to pick her up, like she's a person.
Oh, like normal?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I see that you're interested in me by the way that you said hello. I'd like to return the favor if you don't mind. I genuinely mean it when I said I'm interested in you. Would you like to join me and these ladies? I'll show you a fantastic evening.
Give me charisma plus empathy. That's a 5.
Okay.
Same difficulty, 6.
Alright.
That's a 9 and a 10. That's 3 successes.
Cool.
Because witty kicks in. She seems genuinely.
Wait, where's the third?
This 10 counts as 2 because you have a charisma specialty.
Oh, cool.
Your charming and heartfelt words seem to touch her. You don't think she's full on hook, line, and sinker yet, but you think she's definitely very receptive. All you have to do is not screw up the walk to a bedroom.
Which I could definitely do. You know what?
Dexterity alertness. Don't trip over your feet.
You know what my next step was?
What?
Like, I'm not actually gonna do it now, but I was like, if this doesn't get this lady, I'm gonna go with my strength of 1 and flex. As like a joke, though.
I'm surprised you just didn't go, follow.
Yeah, but then when she gets there, she's gonna be like, I didn't ask for this.
If you want to play a really, really moral vampire.
Consent is always important.
You know you're drinking their blood, right?
They like it, though. That has been explained to me.
Okay.
My sire knows.
Probably a bad time to mention the fact that the vampire word for mortals is kind, which is another word for cattle.
And yet, they like it.
Alright, so let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna say, like, last test, show off a feat of, like, intellect to, like, really impress her. So you're gonna hit me with intelligence and academics.
Do I have to, like, roleplay that first, or do you just want me to roll the dice?
Yeah. Why don't you hit me with the roleplay, then you can roll.
Okay.
I mean, if you have another idea for what you want to do to, like...
No, that's fine.
If it goes along something specific knowledge-wise that's not academics, you can substitute that. For example, if you have something good for computers. Wow, with your knowledge of game theory.
What about academics? What if I, made up some bullshit?
That was what I suggested, actually.
Oh, okay.
Go for it. That's 5 dice.
Okay. So you want me to roleplay first? Did you know that the older any female gets, the more potent orgasms become?
Okay. You can go ahead and roll for that.
No, but I get closer and whisper it to her. So it's not as weird.
Some would say that's weirder. 2 successes. She leans in towards you and says, I didn't know that. Could you demonstrate?
I'm not gonna. I almost was like, sure, can. Gotta play it slow.
All right.
Yes, my lady.
So,
you've
officially
gets one of my hands and gestures out towards her.
You take her and the other 2. What do you do now? What do you do now? In a sense of where are you going? I don't need the details.
Yeah. No, I lead them back, still in the room, but clear enough to see through the doorway to look at my sire, and I raise up and down my eyebrows 3 times.
He appears to have a little wine glass, and he just sort of raises it to you.
I nod in approval and look around, and I'm
They're starting to wonder who you're looking at.
No, I nod in approval and then turn quickly. Yeah.
Alright, that's not more suspicious. So you,
I don't know, do we take him back to my place? Do a room in my car? Does he have a room that he's applied for me? Can I go back to the guest bedroom?
As you head out of the guest lounge, you see Bellboy rushes up to you and hands you a card key and says that your room has been prepared for you.
Looks at it and smiles. And takes the ladies upstairs and fucks them, but only after drinking them.
I mean, that's fair. They're usually kind of semi-conscious at that state.
That's fine. I like it. They're having fun.
But I also should mention that you discover yourself largely unable to perform as a vampire.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Okay. But after I suck them all with my learned ability, I give them all a head. Should that be a roll?
Okay, I'm just gonna have you roll intelligence and medicine really quick.
Wow. How much is that?
5.
Okay.
That's not for what you're proposing, that's for something else.
Okay.
You just can't figure out why it's not working. You slap it a little bit.
I sort of give up after the second lady.
They seem perfectly happy with the blood drinking, to be honest.
That's why it was afterwards.
You are pretty sure that they are gonna have no real recollection of what transpired, but they're gonna think it was a hell of a night.
It's okay. It was a good lesson for me. I didn't know my dingle dong didn't work.
You could have figured it out, but that was a terrible roll.
It's been a bad night.
I mean, you can. It's just I'm telling you, what you did is good enough.
Good.
That's how good the kiss of any vampire that isn't a Giovanni really is. So this exercise went well. You meet your sire back down in the lobby. Mm-hmm. He's smoking a cigar and he's just bachelorette party.
I nod and I'm nice looking out.
That was impressive. We didn't have those when I was alive.
Yeah, I've never been to one before today. Probably for some good reasons.
You do kind of give off an aura of used car salesman that many women find repulsive.
Oh, man. What is it about me that screams used car salesman, do you think? Is it the cowlick? I always try to manage it.
He just starts laughing. He's got a good hearty chuckle, and you come to realize that you've genuinely amused him quite a bit. And he tells you,
He just smiles.
He tells you, not exactly what I was expecting, but I must admit, you figured out how to use presence. Another discipline of the Ventru clan. And it takes everything you are and makes you more of it.
So apparently I'm sexy. That's good to know. I say to myself, not to him.
It's a little under your breath, so he hears it.
And you said there's 3 of them?
Yes. You've experienced the last one from me.
What was it?
It's called Dominate. Very specifically, it's called Command. Just pick anyone in this room, lock eyes with them, and say a single word, and they'll do it. It's tremendous fun.
Looks him in the eye and says, hop.
He smacks you.
Why with this again?
Important lesson. It won't work on vampires who are, how do I put this, better than you.
No kidding. It turns my head back and it cracks.
He locks eyes with you, and he says, fall, and you fall over.
Was that necessary after you smacked me?
He takes another puff of his cigar and he says, necessary, no. Hilarious, yes.
Dad, you're an asshole. Gets up, sort of pretends to be more hurt than he is, and is like a wounded animal, flees the room on a limp. Goes to the next room and straightens up again.
James follows you. If you'd like to try it on someone that isn't me.
Looks at the bartender.
He just sort of gestures okay.
Who does?
Fenimore.
Okay. Looks to James real quick, is like, oh, how many words is it?
1.
Weak.
Is that when you...
At the bartender.
You zap him with that?
Yeah.
He stares at you for a minute and he's like, what?
And I shout a little louder, wink!
He winks at you.
Looks to James and nods in approval.
Sort of that's how it works. I usually go for something a little more extravagant than wink.
Like what? Sleep?
You noticed I did weave the command into a sentence. That is a good way to hide it.
What? Wait, when did you do that?
When I met you.
Oh, wait, you made me sleep. Well, that explains a lot. When I woke up and stuff, I didn't really know what was going on. I was kind of surprised that I passed out when I was showing you the game that I've worked a year to make. Plus, I don't have to blame my uncle for that as much as I thought I would have to.
What's your uncle have to do with you passing out?
There's been days and times when my uncle, when I was really young, he used to just feed me moonshine. To this day, the very sip of moonshine just makes me pass out instantly. I thought maybe you smuggled some into your wine.
No, that wine was full of laudanum.
What's that?
It's a very old-timey drink that makes you sleep. Unless, of course, you're you, apparently.
Wow, I didn't think that I had it in me. Did you make me a vampire before that happened?
No, I was as surprised as you apparently are.
Well, apparently I have the stamina of an elephant, and I can take bullets and crowbar and pick up women. Man, I am just really great. I am just really great today.
Yes.
So I can weave it into a word. That's interesting. I'll have to take note of that. You've taught me a lot. I didn't think I would like you as a person, but I've come to an understanding that you're actually a pretty cool guy.
It is perhaps true that some people only get the Cliff's Notes version of me, and he is kind of an asshole. But the truth...
I think that happens for all of us.
But the fact is, I am tough. But that is only because I wish you to survive.
It's alright. I've had plenty of figures like that in my life, so I understand. I hope to be like that someday. Tough as nails. Get stuff done. But not shoot as many lizards. Forget I said that last part. That has nothing to do with our conversation.
Is that one of your kind euphemisms for urination?
Yes.
You'll find you don't have to do that anymore.
Really?
Many things were once a part of your mortal life are no longer a concern in the powers of your new kindred self.
Pauses for a minute and then squints eyes and sort of leans into him just a little bit and whispers in kind of like a stage whisper, "Where does the blood go?"
He tells you it's the mystery of the magic.
Sighs heavily.
Fine, it evaporates.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going home now. Can I go home now?
He looks at his watch and he says, "It's nearly 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Not going to go to bed so early, are you?"
Early? Wait. Oh no. I have to stay up at nights, don't I? What
Well,
does the sun do?
burns your organs to a crisp.
Damn. Wait, you're telling me that when my uncle was shooting things right next to my ear, that was my last sunset? Sort of like this. Oh, God. I didn't enjoy that at all.
He tells you, "I don't really know the specifics of your last sunrise. Your uncle was apparently next to you peeing. So it's suddenly a relief that you don't have to spend any more time with him."
It just made me crack up laughing all the more because I remembered that he said, "Lizards in my eye." That's in my own eyes, son.
There is one person in the universe who gets this joke that you're telling to yourself.
Oh,
So I'm going to assume that this is your character's reaction.
man. Yes.
And Fenimore's a little taken aback.
I'm sorry. I had a moment. I just found something funny.
He puts his hands on your shoulders and is like, "I'm going to go home now."
Me too. That's what I was saying.
He says,
When will I see you again?
"Probably for the best that you stay at my manor.
At your manor? Okay.
Until you have the opportunity to properly sunproof your place of residence.
Okay, I think that's fair.
In the meantime, you can stay in the guest bedroom that you awoke in earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the rest of the night to yourself, but do return to the manor by dawn, because as a vampire, you will most likely fall unconscious when the sun rises.
Okay.
The rest of the night is yours. I will see you back at the manor, and we will wrap up your training when next you rise for the night."
Okay. I think my character's just like, he's just tired. Like, he's not like physically or even mentally tired, but he just really, really just wants to go have some rest. Well, I guess before he does that, he goes back to his house to just sort of like appraise like what needs to be done.
You're gonna have to block off some windows, and that's about it.
Okay. So I go back to the manor and like fall asleep.
Alright, now you continue this sort of lifestyle for several months. Your house gets patched up.
Yeah.
He calls to some contractors to do that for you.
Oh, good.
He does seem genuinely concerned about the safety of his child.
When I hear that he's gonna do that for me, I like look to him and I like do a solitary understanding nod, and then like I do an air fist bump.
Much in the way of those like characters who for some reason don't understand a culturally significant gesture. He just raises a fist in your general direction and gives you a confused look.
I give a thumbs up and say you're doing a good job.
So, of course, also in this time, you meet Salvador, who has finished getting your app sort of constructed as more than proof of concept.
Like, it still needs work, but it's in, like, the beta stage.
Salvador, by the way, is the ugliest creature you have ever laid eyes upon.
That's odd. I made a note on that on my notes.
He has wickedly pointed ears, his skin is the color of shit.
Fuck.
One of his eyes is bigger than the other one, and it's like, one is yellow and one is sickly white.
Whenever I, like, first lay eye on him, I, like, do a thing like a cat does whenever it's, like, surprised. I, like, jump and back away and, like, hug the back.
It's like you try not to say it, and after you're introduced to him for the first time, and he walks away, Fenimore looks at him and he's like, "So, what's called an Nosferatu, another vampire clan. While we maintain the upper classes, his kind tends to live in the sewers, and, well, they're very good at things, but when they change, they get all that."
That sounds so unhappy.
Apparently, he wasn't a very good-looking man to begin with, so...
Are there any good-looking ones?
Nosferatu?
Yeah.
Not a one.
Damn.
He's happy, though.
I'm really, really impressed with his computer's knowledge.
Oh, yeah, he's an excellent forger, too.
Maybe we can be internet chat pals.
Yeah, apparently the girl who didn't take him into prom stopped legally existing and is now in Guantanamo Bay.
That's scary.
Well, you know, it's scary what happens to you when all legal record of you just vanishes overnight.
I'm good with being legal.
At some point, every kindred needs that to happen when people look at your driver's license and say, you're not 93. So just let me know when you want it to happen.
I think that's fair.
He chuckles and he's like, that's terrifying.
Wait, which part's terrifying?
No, it was that was your reaction when he told you. And he walks away and he's still laughing at it like it's like you said it jokingly.
Like, Alex, everyone else's sires is gonna be shit compared to mine. Like, if we're comparing sires, my sire beats all of your sires. Like, get out of here.
My sire can beat up your sire. He does slap you a lot, though. So as he's walking away with this chuckle, like this hearty chuckle in his chest, he turns back and he's like, oh, yes. I almost forgot. There's going to be a gala at Elysium. That's another vampire term. It's sort of a peaceful, like a truce zone, where there's to be no violence, no making people shit their pants with vampire powers or anything like that.
Yeah. Hey, James, do I have to dress up for this?
Finest clothes you have.
I'll make something that fits the occasion.
Tomorrow night, I'll have my driver take you there. He knows where it is. I'll be there early, so just have him take you when you're ready.
Okay.
He walks off, and you can still hear him chuckling like, that's terrifying. That was a good one.
Oh, fuck. You know, he's gonna be sitting there, like, drinking someone's blood. He's like, that's terrifying.
He'll be pulling back with, like, drug blood dripping on his mouth. When he says it, and then he chuckles, and then he goes back.
What I was gonna say is that, like, at the start of this campaign, I was so ready for, like, my sire to be, like, terrifying, and him, like, my character, Fredrick, to just be, like, scared out of his shit, and, like, be like, yep, I can't disappoint my sire, because then he'll kill me. And now it's just like, I don't want to disappoint Daddy. Let me into your social club. Please don't take me out of it. Let me make you proud.
You know what? He was supposed to be a little terrifying, but you seem to have taken to it really well. Fast forward a little bit. You're getting ready for your occasion. You have dressed in the fanciest vampire attire you know, the outfit of Bela Lugosi's Dracula. You've styled your hair as appropriately as you can. It's not perfect. That one bit does still stick up a little.
Yeah, that cowlick, it just doesn't go away.
And as you're getting ready, you hear, hey, boss, looking good.
I turn really quick.
It's Salvador.
I, like, almost throw up in my mouth a little bit, but I cover my mouth really quickly and be like, hey, with, like, my eyes closed.
That's good, boss.
Thanks. I know you know what looks good. I mean, you really are good at compliments.
Shit-faced.
Hey, we still doing that role-playing when we get home tonight, bud? Because remember, they're gonna be, like, online friends.
Just like...
So they role-play together.
Nah, I got big work today. Servers are going up on your program soon, and I gotta make sure that they're not all, like, Niantic.
Looks in the mirror to distract myself at anything but my friend.
He's standing right next to you, so you can't look at yourself without seeing him.
Looks at the ceiling.
He like horror movie scuttles up the wall, so he's on top of the ceiling. He's just like, hey boss, the driver wanted me to tell you that he's almost ready.
Do you not take a hint, is what I would say if I didn't leave right away. Goodbye, my friend.
You remember the fact that the last person who rejected him that much is in Guantanamo Bay, and you leave politely.
I sort of like hunch back and sort of like I heave to get air in my mouth because his appearance tastes literally bad to me. Like,
take care of that cold, boss.
You got it. Don't worry, with some alone time and some rest, I'm sure I'll be good.
I'll come with you, boss.
No, okay.
No, you're right, boss. I should go do the service.
That's what you're good for. Being friendly. Being real friendly.
Salvador hunch walks over out of the room.
I like scuttle away to the back limo.
The little window buzzes down. Driver turns around. Hey, boss.
Why is there more of you?
His face melts into shadows, and you can see it's a different person now. He's just like, works every time.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Julie, and I'm your driver.
You're an asshole. But I'm Fredrick. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you're not who I thought you were. I was ready for a fight, and I'm terrible at fighting.
I'm here to take you to the gala. We'll be there in like 20 minutes.
Gets into the car, like, pouting intensely as she laughs her ass off the whole ride there.
Wait, who does?
Jolene.
Julian is a guy. Alright. So yeah, you arrive at the gala. Alright, ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
So you arrive at the gala. You see, as you enter, you see a number of well-dressed individuals.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man off to one side with a small, coterie of admirers. He's huge in every conceivable dimension. He's tall, he's wide in a way that looks like a little bit of muscle, a little bit of fat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ugly, too. Much in the same way Salvador is, but different.
Mm-hmm.
His skin sort of looks like he has skin cancer and third-degree burns at the same time. But he also looks like he's an albino.
Huh.
And, unlike Salvador, who kind of sort of rocks the I live in the sewer look, he is wearing this extravagant white suit with a black shirt and then a white tie. And he's got this big walking stick cane with a jewel on the top of it. He's a fancy ass dude.
Okay.
And you can see he's telling a story. He's got a cigar in one hand, the walking stick in the other. He's telling a story and everyone's laughing their asses off.
Can I try to eavesdrop?
I suppose if you want, but right now I'm going to explain each of the groups in turn.
Oh, okay.
At the top of the stairs, sitting on a big fancy looking chair with one leg crossed over the other, a glass that looks like red wine, but you can tell from closer observation is actually blood in his hand. He's wearing a big red long coat that if it were black would look like the one Neo wears in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing these teeny tiny red sunglasses. He's bald and gray pale skin. Sitting next to him is what appears to be an adorable girl of perhaps 17. She's got sort of a punk look going on. Off to another side, you see a man with ridiculously colored hair. Looks like a purple hair. He's also well dressed. He's got a fine red silk shirt on, black fancy dress pants. He's also drinking blood out of a wine glass. But you see, every so often he just sets it down. Looks like he takes out a tiny blade, slits his own finger, puts a few drops in it to freshen it up, then takes another sip.
Huh, okay.
Bit of weird dude.
Yeah.
You can see sort of a heavily built, not as heavily built as the first dude, but a Hispanic man. He's got a beard, sort of a bowl cut. He looks like he's dressed to go bowling, not quite to a gala.
Okay.
And he also just very much looks like he doesn't want to be here. And he's sort of looking around, he's growling at stuff. You can hear him muttering phrases like this bullshit place under his breath. And he's got a little coterie of followers too. They all look about like him in terms of dress, general demeanor. None of them really look like they want to be here. But it seems like something has obligated them because they none of them even look like they're considering leaving. And that's about it for the groups that look important.
Can I look around for my sire?
You do see him too. He is in a room, part of the room you just noticed, where you realize there are humans sort of strung up by their feet. He passes this tiny little ghoulish figure, one of the wine glasses, and you see him step up on a little stepladder, slit the wrist of one of the humans and bleed them into this glass.
Oh shit.
Then he just reaches up and drags his finger down the wound and it goes away.
Oh shit. I think that's when my character realizes that damn, this guy's powerful.
He takes the wine
because
glass.
he didn't really know before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you get the sense of oh shit.
Yeah, oh shit, that's some power.
He swishes the blood around in the glass, takes a sip.
Kind of freaked out about it, but also kind of happy.
So, that's the people and players that are in this room at the moment. Anyone you want to talk to?
Before I talk to anyone, I sort of say hey, James, under my breath, hoping he can hear me, sort of try and catch his attention.
He's a good 30 yards away from you right now.
Okay, I sort of wander to him first, and I'm like.
So you're coming up behind him and he's taking a big swig out of his glass.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do?
Whenever you're done, James, I say quietly.
He turns around. Yep.
I do a tiny little shimmy in my cloak. Feel like I trust in my best clothes.
He has dropped his glass.
Oh, kind of looks at the blood warningly. Is there something on my face? Should I have gotten fake ears? Say something, James.
He's just doing that.
James, I'm Daddy.
There's a picture of exactly what he looks like right now, if I can find it.
Come on. It kind of takes my hand and like swerves it over his face, and he doesn't blink. And
He's looking at you exactly like this.
Holy shit. Wanting not to be slapped, I walk away quickly from him.
You see him return to the human fountain for another glass.
I see him trying to down it as quickly as possible. Okay, so I leave him very quickly and go to the tied up person that's like furthest away from him and try to like I take a glass from a nearby table and I try to cut them a little bit like he did.
He asked the servant to do that.
Oh, he has the servant to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I try to do it myself.
Oh, jeez. Whatever the servant did, like, you don't quite have the capability of.
Oh.
So you're just, like, rubbing a fingernail up against them?
Okay, I decide that doesn't work and I leave. I turn to the guy with the glasses.
The one at the top of the little stairway?
Yeah. Do I have to pass anyone to do that?
No one's obstructing you or anything, no.
Well, actually, I kind of want to eavesdrop on the guy with the bling. So as I'm passing him, I sort of like listen in. Can I do that? Is there a check?
Perception and alertness.
Okay.
Three dice, I believe. If you like, you can also just walk into his conversation, introduce yourself and all that.
Well, I want to hear what they're talking about first.
Okay.
So.
All you can hear is that a bunch of people started laughing again. You can just join the conversation if you like.
Okay, I join the conversation. I walk up to them and sort of like...
Bleh, bleh!
No, I'm good. I walk up to... I think I've done quite enough of that. I walk up to them. Actually, I look at like one of the people, not like the whole group, but like one of the people in the circle, like not the big guy. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I like listen in and nod.
Yeah, you see the people you blah, blah at are sort of like... Start to hear his conversations like, so then... the Giovanni wander into my territory. So I told them, look, I don't put up with two things, incest and necromancy, and you do both. So go fuck a pasta bowl in hell. Capiche?
Oh, fucking, that's witty. I look him in the eye and like nod understandingly. I sort of like on the down low as the other group is laughing. I'm like, I don't like either of those things. My name's Fredrick.
He looks over to you, and you see him stare for a moment just at your attire. And he's just like, this guy knows what I'm talking about.
I'm like, yeah, finger guns.
He stomps out the cigarette on his hand. He just like, or the cigar on his hand. He tosses it aside. He's like, Winston Kincaid White.
I shake his hand.
Yeah. It's a little like gnarly.
Yeah.
But I think like
I ignore that.
You've gotten used to Salvatore.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Winston Kincaid White. And he looks over and he's like, you're Frederick's new boy, aren't you? No, wait, you're Fredrick. You're James's new boy, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Do me a favor. Tell him how thankful I am for him giving my child a nice place to hole up and a nice little family that he has. You might have met him. Salvatore's my boy.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a lovely guy. He's really friendly, and he's gonna go places in the world and nowhere but up onto the ceilings.
He's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But you know,
please get him away from me, but we're good friends.
He's a good kid. He's a little misunderstood. He needs a good guiding hand. I feel mine is a good one. I feel Mr. Fenimore's is a good one. It's one of the reasons I agreed to our exchange in the first place.
Exchange? Sorry, sir, if you don't mind me asking.
Nothing terribly invasive, no. We just have an old arrangement where once in a while, when we have skilled childer, such as Salvatore or yourself, we lend out their services to one another just to broaden the skill set that they can receive and improve their standing in the community. Thanks to our little arrangement and our long-standing partnership, I've become the Nosferatu Primogen.
What's a primogen? Sorry, sir, I'm still pretty new.
Nonsense. You're fine. Primogen is a sort of elder council. Every vampire clan contributes one, and then the 7 primogen in the council advise the prince on his princely duties. Unfortunately, our last prince is an ashy stain in the middle of downtown.
Isn't that how we all start?
I'm afraid that's how this one ended.
The circle of life.
Yes. So until we choose a new prince, my status as primogen is doing nothing. Although occasionally I jam a big piece of wood into a Giovanni.
Hey, I just got threatened with that yesterday or the other night, it seems.
Gives you an affectionate, bat in the shoulder. And you realize, the scope of his bulk, because his hand is, the size of your forearm.
It, makes me, bend a little bit.
It's like a playful hit, but it's still, you weeble wobble.
Yeah. Nice meeting you. I'm gonna meet some more people, but I'm glad I came. I'm glad you came.
Tell Salvatore I said hi. I don't get to see him so often anymore.
Yeah, I will. Believe me, I see him a lot. Too much. A lot.
He pats his hand to his chest and is like, I get the most terrible empty nest syndrome.
Okay, so anyway, I walk up to the guy with glasses, bald, and the girl. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I love Japanese anime. How do you guys feel about that?
He looks down at you over his little sunglasses.
I'm cosplaying right now. You know what cosplaying is? It's great.
You look over your shoulder and you can see your sire making the face again.
I know I fucked up, but it's too late. I turned back.
I'm committed to it now.
I have a dry smile. I sort of stare back.
He just says, I do not believe that I've had the pleasure. Maximilian Strauss, Tremere Primogen and acting prince of Los Angeles, California.
Acting prince? Bows, your highness.
This is Miranda Strout. She, much like myself, has taken over many duties in the hope of helping the city, while we attempt to find a proper replacement for our late prince. So it seems like he's waiting for you to introduce yourself.
It's nice to meet you, Maximilian Strauss and Mrs. Strout. I am Fredrick von Stein. I am the new child of James Finnemore.
I see his tastes are not what they used to be.
Yes, sir, they've changed for the better. Does another bow.
This new child has confidence, at least.
Yes, sir. Isn't that right, Miranda Strout? Winks.
She growls at you and not in a sexy way.
Sort of stiffens, but looks back to Maximilian.
She takes her hands out from behind her back, and you see that they've turned into wicked claws. She puts them back behind her back, and when she takes them out again, their hands.
I'm sorry, madam. I didn't wish to offend you.
No. I shouldn't be so quick to anger. I've just been under a lot of stress lately.
What has been stressing you, madam?
It's my babies.
Your babies?
I've
More children like me?
No. Are you familiar with the ghouling process? I have ghouled a number of subjects to keep me company and guard my haven. Unfortunately, I find that I am unable to properly care for them during my very frequent sheriffly duties. Can't stand to think of them being all alone in my haven, just night after night. No one to look after them.
Ghouls? Well, if they need some company or some small takings after, I do find myself with a couple hours of free time every few nights. If it would help you, madam, and help you, Maximilian, both of you, take some edge off and make sure that you are able to perform the duties, then I would like to help you.
Is that so?
Yes.
Excellent. Could I have your phone number? You have been returned your phone, by the way.
Oh, okay. Sure. My phone is...
You can just say I give it to her.
I give her my phone number.
Okay. She enters it in and she says, I will text you whenever I'm going out on an important mission. That way you know to come by my house and take care of my lovelies.
Yes, I would love nothing more.
If you like, the party's about to wrap up soon. If you like, afterwards, I can show you back to my apartment and show you what you have to do for this job.
I believe I must have a talk with my sire afterwards, but I would like nothing more than to meet you at the end of the night.
Excellent. I will await you in the front hall before the night is over.
I bow to both of them and I leave again.
If there's anyone else you want to talk to before you, that talk to your sire or head off to talk to her, then now's the time.
I pass by the guy who's mumbling to himself and I'm like, there's drinks up there. I hope you're having a good time. And he wags his fingers about him and smiles and passes by.
He just he looks at you like you're the worst person ever.
I feel like the worst person ever and I leave to go back to my sire. Did I do good? Did I do good, Dad?
First of many
Please
questions.
Please don't slap me. Please don't.
First of many questions. What are you wearing?
It's a classic outfit. I got it from the Halloween store. It's the fanciest outfit I have. I just thought, all the frills and the floof would make me feel like a real powerful old vampire,
You get the sense he's trying to calm down.
Second question.
Should I not wear this again?
No.
Okay.
I saw you talk to 3 very important people just now. Possibly 4 if you count Miss Strout. What on earth did you say to them all?
Well, first things first, Winston Kincaid thinks I'm amazing and loves me and also said thank you to you and also that he thinks I'm great. So you should too.
He actually looks genuinely surprised and he's like, oh.
I met Maximilian Strauss. Yeah, I got that impression too, but he seemed at first distant from me. I don't know, it might have been my uniform, but he...
Yes.
Alright, I won't wear
from
it.
you myself right now.
Sorry, Father. Anyway, James, he was distant from me at first, but it seemed that he took a vague liking to me, especially after I offered to babysit Miranda Strout's schools once in a while. She said she needed some help. I figured, what's a person or two dropping in and say hi to the lonely fellows.
Oh my. You know what? No, I'm leaving it as a surprise.
I do like a good surprise.
Don't we all? And then you went and talked to Nines Rodriguez.
No, I just told him you were offering drinks. Hopefully come over and say hi.
Hopefully he'll get hit by a bus.
Well, he did seem rather unhappy. What did you do to him?
Mr. Rodriguez is the distasteful leader of a coalition of kindred known as the Anarchs.
The Anarchs?
They believe that the laws of the Camarilla, the laws that keep us safe, are unnecessary. We would do nothing less than see them destroyed, dismantled, see the system that saves us.
Well, what would
thrown.
they have us do? Run amok?
They are not the Sabbat, although I fear they might as well be. They believe that vampires can self-police, but I have seen what happens when they do, and it is chaos. It is rampant murder. It is bloodshed in the streets.
What happened then?
Happened as the Camarilla came to forge order out of that chaos. That is where the Ventru stepped in. That is where we became the head of the pyramid, and we enforced law.
Kind of takes a moment to look down to process the fact that he was there for that, and the fact that he's so fucking powerful. Sort of nods and clears his throat in trying to hide his appreciation.
Sort of affectionately twirls the side of her hair.
Okay.
Says, you are a good child to appreciate what you do. You know your place, our place in the world. You chose wisely. With certain exceptions. Gestures to your clothes again.
Should I take them all off right now? Would that be better?
Do you have clothes under them?
No.
Then no. Go finish your dealings with Miss Strout. We will talk about this when you get home.
Oh, yes, Daddy. Okay, so I leave the corridor and I go see Miss Strout, who's waiting for me.
You meet Miss Strout in the hallway.
Okay.
And she says, good you're here. Do you think I could borrow your car to get to my apartment? Mine is late.
Well, I would, but I took a limo here.
No, that's still here.
Well, yes, it appears it's still there.
So the two of you climb into the limo.
Okay.
Window goes down again. Hey, boss!
I'm done with this! Get out of my car!
Miranda's just like, oh, god damn it. You see
I'm sick of your shit!
Julian manifests in the window again.
Julia, could you please stop this bullshit?
Never. The window just... zzz. The very last second he's visible, he turns back into Salvador. He's like, hey, boss.
I look at Miranda with like a solemn nod, and I'm like, never speak of this.
So it starts driving away, and she starts telling you a story about how she met Salvador, and how she had to nearly arrest Salvador, because even though he wasn't breaking the masquerade as a rule, he was, in fact, doing a lot of very high-risk things.
He is a very friendly guy, isn't he?
Just like, yeah. Send his ex-girlfriend to Guantanamo.
Yeah, I heard about that. Terrifying.
Yeah. Good one.
Why does everyone think that's funny? Not joking. I'm horrified. I just want him to go away.
So the limo pulls her out in the front of a very fancy apartment building.
And after I get out, I'm sorry, what's the driver's name?
Julian.
Julie. After I get out, before anything happens, I say, shut up, Julian!
Okay, boss. So yeah, you find yourself inside the apartment. She takes you up a few floors into this very spacious apartment. Looks like it's on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Vaulted ceiling, a lot of space, maybe about 4 or 5 rooms. And you can see there are birds flying around in this like high ceiling.
As soon as I see them, I like scream. I'm like, ah! And I like step back and like fall on my ass.
You very nearly fall on what appears to be a monitor lizard.
I fall on my ass, but like at the last second, I see that there's like a lizard behind me. So like I do this maneuver with my hand where I like try to like not fall on my ass, but fall on my hand, but it fails, and I like just fall on my side like a limp noodle, while still like sort of vaguely screaming like ah! And, like I see the lizard even more up close, and I'm like ah! And then, like my scream refreshes, and I'm like animals! There's animal infestation! Kill them! Kill them!
The lizard licks your nose with its purple tongue. She reaches
Save
down.
me!
She reaches down and starts patting the lizard on the head.
Don't pat it! Save me!
She looks at you and she's just like, this is Victor.
I like turn around till I'm like face down on her carpet, and I like flat as a board, and I'm like, I say into the ground like, your ghouls are animals.
2 birds, 5 dogs, and a lizard.
I am afraid of animals, Miranda.
Oh, you volunteered for a shit job then.
I'm gonna die here, Miranda.
As long as you don't make a mess.
I slowly get up and sigh and inch my way from the lizards. I'm like, I don't have to touch them or interact with them. What do you want me to do?
Well, to get their blood from me, so you just need to feed them their mortal food. That's every night. I'll text you when it needs to happen because I feed them normally. The dogs, she gestures at 5 dogs in little cages, need to be walked. When you get a text from me twice nightly, Victor eats tiny live animals, rats and mice and things.
He just tried to eat me.
Nonsense, that's how he says hello.
I don't say hello by trying to eat. Okay, I do.
Then you have the birds, Sharpie and Quark. She points again at the hawk, which is apparently Sharpie, and Quark is the owl. And she's just like, they also like small animals, rats and rodents and things, so when you get a text, try to catch a few on the way. And just drop them about the apartment, let the birds will handle them. What the birds don't handle, the lizard will. Oh, it's very important you don't show weakness in front of the lizard.
But I've just shown him my whole deck of cards.
Yes, that may prove a mistake. Just try not to show weakness in front of Victor in the future.
Victor, who's a good thingy.
As you're backing away from the monitor lizard, you hear like yappy barking behind you.
I jump and I look behind me.
There is a tiny Pomeranian trying to cram its head through the bars of its cage, and you can see the bars are giving way slightly. It looks like it's got supernatural strength of some kind because its eyes are glowing a little bit.
Oh my god. Are you sure they're not gonna get out?
No.
Ah.
Fredrick, behave.
Can I go now? Do you need me for anything else tonight? Just show me where the food is real quick.
As she's just saying, like, no, tonight is, and you hear a phone buzz. Oh, fuck. Okay, there's a Sabbat raid going on right now. I'll be taking care of that, you take care of them. Food's in the cupboard. She points at Victor and the birds and says, there's some rats in an alley somewhere, I'm sure. Go catch them for these days. Toodles. And she just pops out the door, and she pops back into the door and says, if there's anything wrong with any of them when I get back, you are dead.
I make the door squeaking noise as the door squeaking shut.
She pops back in again and is like, I'm not kidding. The last guy who fucked this job up is in the closet.
I tentatively look at the closet and not even hitting. There's a skeleton, just literal bones just popping out. The door's not even on.
The closet just looks like someone's been slaughtered in there. There's dried blood, old blood all over the walls.
Yeah, and I can smell that it's real blood, so I'm The animals are looking at me, and I look at the animals, and they sniff at me, and I sniff at them. One of them yaps and barks, probably the Pomeranian, and I do the...
That's a perfect fade out moment for that scene. So a few months later, you find yourself back at your sire's manor. You sort of sleep about half the time there and about half the time at your normal apartment.
Okay.
Or your normal house. I don't know which you have.
Yeah, it's a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your sire has summoned you to his chamber. And he says to you, Fredrick, come in.
I wander inside.
Hey, boss.
What are you doing here? I mean, hello, Salvador. Boss, what is he doing here?
He just came to fix some of my computer issues. And when I told him you would be up, he said he wanted to stay and say hi.
Hey, Salvador.
Hi, boss.
Yep, hi. I'll see you later on chat.
Not if I see you first. And he just sort of vanishes into the shadows.
I hope you don't.
What's that mean, boss?
It means I hope to see you first, buddy. I really hope to look at you way before you see me at all times.
Okay, boss. And he sort of galumphs down the hall.
Just sort of marvel at the fact that he could disappear, but didn't, just to walk away in a deformed manner that seemed to really hurt him, just to be present a little longer. And I'm as I look at him going down the steps, I'm yep, there he goes. Let me look at him. There's my buddy.
It's really nice to see that the two of you are getting along so well.
We really are. I turned back to him.
Mr. White will be proud. I have important news. The Kindred community is hosting another event, for which I will be providing your attire, this time.
Straightens and dusts off shirt.
This time, the ceremony will be the recognition of neonate vampires who have reached a level of status and acclaim that allows them to rise above merely being the pawns of their sires and be recognized as full-fledged kindred in their own right.
Smooths back my hair in pride, but the cowlick sticks out.
I have petitioned to have your name included for the ceremony, and despite the fact that you appeared in Lugosi-esque attire at the last
You're really not going to forgive that? You mention it every other sentence, James. And that was 5 months. No, that was not 5 months. That was 3 months ago.
As your sire, I have concerns about such behavior. It reflects badly on me. It reflects badly on you.
Yeah.
It reflects badly on Salvador.
Not Salvador.
It does, boss.
I really thought he left this time.
Fenimore just shakes his head and is like, put a bell on him.
I think that's a really good idea. And while you're at it, I really think that you need to talk to Julian.
Is he still doing that thing?
He's still doing that thing. It scared the shit out of Miranda. It Scared the shit out of me. I bet it would scare the shit out of Salvador.
Salvador loves it, actually.
Really?
I don't think he understands it, but he loves it.
Poor sweet Salvador. Okay, well, you're picking my Atari this time, and I don't think anything could possibly go wrong, right?
Let's hope not. I certainly don't want a repeat of last time.
Last time I did great, even though I looked like a malnutritioned whore.
He points at the rat blood on your shoe and says, "What is that?"
That's rat blood on my shoe.
And why is it there? It's there because you agreed to feed Miranda's mongrels 3 to 4 nights a week while she's off on sheriff business.
I did that to look good.
Gunther, Herman.
Please don't slap me. Please don't let either of them slap me. We talked about this. We talked about the slaps.
Otto. Suddenly a brick comes sailing into a window into your head.
What?
You hear Otto go, "Yes!" from outside.
I collapse.
You're fine, you have fortitude.
No, I'm fine. I still collapse.
Just out of surprise.
I crumple.
Suddenly, Gunther and Herman approach you from both sides, and since you're on the floor now, this isn't quite as easy for them. But they lift you up, and they start very quickly undressing you, and they back down to about boxers, and then they start very rapidly redressing you, and you find yourself in a crisp, unbloodied Italian suit.
Okay. This is more like it. This is what I like. This is what I've been aiming for, you know. Dust off the suit, even though it has no dust. It's clearly brand new.
I had it hand-tailored to you.
I like it.
Anyway, your attire is ready. If there's anything you wish to do before the gala, get to it. If not, Julian leaves within the hour.
I'm ready to go.
All right. So we close on you getting into the limo for the night.
All right. I think that's a great ending. Thanks for tuning in to This Bloody Mess, the increasingly poor decisions of 4 vampires by Painted Still. If you like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing to our channel. If you want to support our content, we have a Patreon, link is in the description.